Hey, what's up, YouTube? So this is Cool Breeze. This will probably be the first video that I have a commentary in. This probably definitely be the first video. I'm gonna try to walk through this. It's a little bit longer video. I've never done a commentary before, especially over a video like this. So I'm gonna give this a shot. Can't say it's gonna be good or anything, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So basically, these are some trees, pretty close to my house, and I was taking this out for my grandmother, basically. And yeah, I've been working on wanting to get both of them down, and I'm doing them for free. So I've waited on the one that you see me cutting on at the moment, but the one that I'm in is I was planning to just throw the top and leave it at that. You'll probably see later in the video there's some wires everywhere. So right there, the three top ones, those are actually live power line wires, high voltage. So I was really concerned about those, and I really had to make sure I don't get any whatsoever close to those. But that was the biggest concern. And second of all, I don't want to drop their limbs into them or anything of that nature, of course. And unfortunately, as old as they are, they don't even have a coating. They had a coating, but it got it's on and off throughout the wire just from being so old. So I have to really be careful with this one. That's another thing I was worried about. The only other issue I think I had with this was, unfortunately, before I went up and me being lazy and not going back down and fixing it, was my chainsaw was a little bit dull, so I couldn't just straight cut it. I tried to snap some of these, but the pine was not wanting to snap. So here, I had to do a lot of limb walking. It's a little sketchy on these little itty bitty pine limbs, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. I wanted to make sure I got out there so I can really cut them. As you can see, I was demonstrating how I'm gonna cut them. But let's see here. As you can see, try to make a snap cut. I was giving it a shot, but it probably hurt more than anything. Worst comes to worst, I could have just peeled it and just let it hang. That's what I should have done. Peel them, let them hang, and then drop them flat once they're hanging, instead of just kind of having them tumble. See, that's dangerous, especially with that wire being back there. But it's all trial and error, and nothing went wrong, so everything's good to go. Here I go again, trying to snap. Should have just thrown both hands on there. That one worked out pretty good. It wanted to go. Let's see. The next part, I had to go to the other side. Or actually, I went ahead and cut these short. I'm trying to get some more video of just moving around, especially for new guys that's new to this trait. But as you can see here, get pretty close back to it. I'm getting ready to cut these out. And sorry if you hear all the sniffling and all that. It's allergy season and they're kicking my tail right now. I'd done this video actually like a good little bit before what you're seeing now. Like I've done this job is like from what, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. So it's still pretty cold right now. It's let's see. Yeah, that was actually last year, so that was longer than that, I want to say, I think. Either way, it don't really matter. So I went ahead and double tied off back to the tree. I'm getting ready to cut these short. And the reason I'm cutting them short is whenever I throw the top, I don't have nothing to hang up on. Otherwise, I'll just leave it. It's not a big deal to leave. But yeah, I gotta cut these short. So And I talked to one of my older guys that climbs a lot. He said I should just quit cut them, which I didn't. But yeah, the snapping was not working at all. It was really just a waste of time. Oh yeah, I remember. I decided to break this one off here. Throw it a little bit. I think I cut that one at my foot too. Yep, sure did. Grab that one real quick and just head on up. If I'm now, just a quick tip for especially new guys. If you're planning on rigging a lot or rigging at all really, you need to cut these nubs like to the base. You need to cut them all the way off. Otherwise, if you just want climbing it and cutting it down, I try to leave them. It really depends on the situation. But sometimes I leave them because it makes it a lot more comfortable when you have something to stand on. Sometimes, depending on what you're cutting and all that. Sometimes it's just better to do that and stand on your spikes for a long time. So that is the benefit of leaving them. But the disadvantage is, like I said, rigging, because they get caught up on everything, and that's something you don't want to have to deal with. It makes the day a long day having to go up and down the same tree. And second of all, whenever you go to drop it in the yard or drop a top or block it out or whatever, you're gonna put holes in your customers' yards that don't need to be left. So right now I'm just trying to size the tree up a little bit better, get an idea on what I'm gonna do. Decide I'm gonna just go ahead and limb walk the other side as well from here. Let's see. I got way different gear now, so this is it's actually kind of funny watching me use this other gear. I think I was actually I had this ground guy down there. He's been working around my house, doing a great job. It's funny now, like watching this. Well, not funny, but kind of ironic. That's all his personal information. But long story short, he don't work with me no more. He had some things come about they had to get taken care of. So I hope he's doing good. But besides, I ain't really heard from him. Yeah, here for a pine tree, I felt like I was walking way out there, but it worked out. I guess I'm technically double tied off. That little limb probably would have held me, but I don't worry too much about double tying off when I got a safety in the back like that, because it's away from everything I'm cutting. Besides that, when you can, I try to have two hands on a chainsaw. I feel like sometimes you just can't, I feel like sometimes it's just, you're limited to what you're able to do. Sometimes I feel 100% more safer one-handed it in certain situations. But my main thing is, rope awareness, situational awareness. That's simple as it gets for me. But I was trying to get a little bit farther out here, knowing my chainsaw was a little dull, and knowing I was going to want to sling back at that power line behind the tree. As you can see, I just started letting these peel a little bit. Just keep swiping it, making sure it don't break off. Which that one broke anyway. But same thing there. I can just flat drop these. Let's see here. I always thought people like more of the shorter videos, but most of my views come from longer videos, so I just started making them long now. So if that's what the people want, that's what I'm gonna give them. I guess to get off topic a little bit, y'all just watch what's going on for a little bit. But to get off topic a little bit, channel wise, I'm gonna try to just start some little small series. And I'm not gonna set up a schedule yet on, when videos are gonna be out or anything like that. But I'm gonna just try to get content, really. Try to get my content up before I try to promote the channel to another level. So just keep it simple. I went ahead and cut again here, as you can see. But yeah, I want to, most of it's probably just going to be tree content at the moment. But it's fun climbing. Anybody trying to get into it, it's real fun. It's dangerous. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's definitely a dangerous trait. But it's got its benefits too. There's a lot you can learn. There's a lot of excitement into it. There's a lot of there's never like a moment where it's like, oh snap, this is boring. For me, it's not. I mean, every tree's different. I mean, literally, every time point is different. Every time you tie into a branch or a limb, like you're putting, like, most of the time you look at a branch for about 5 seconds and you literally judge, this is going to hold my life. And if this breaks or if this fails, this 5-second inspection is literally the difference between you literally falling to your death sometimes. So, I mean, like I said, it's dangerous. And, a lot of people try to get quick with it, but I really try to take my time doing this extracurricular activity, I guess you could call it. But when you learn and get good at it and get over your fears, it's all about conquering fears. Learn how to limb walk. As you can see, I'm still pretty new to it. So limb walking, I gotta get a little bit better at it. But like I said, it's all about conquering your fears and just growing. And a buddy of mine, the guy that I really got around, the first climber I really got around, he said he's had moments where he's actually fell out of trees. Nothing serious, like, well, I say nothing serious. He told me he fell about 30 feet, and he said the best thing he did was actually just get right back in the tree. He wasn't hurt. Well, he was hurt, but he wasn't hurt enough not to climb. So he said literally the best thing he did was just go ahead and jump right back into the tree. Because sometimes if you come down from an injury or whatever, or from a really scary situation, you don't just jump right back into it. It can mess you up long term, kind of sketch you out about doing it again. So sometimes, if this is really what you want to do, sometimes it's just better to go ahead and knock it out. Go ahead and get that fear out the way. And just, of course, assuming you're able to, but yeah. Like I said, I'm not the fastest climber in the world by no means. I just try to be careful and take my time. And I ain't got no time limits on this. Not getting paid. There's no time limits on this, so I take my time and do it safe. Yeah. That's another little trick for y'all. For some of the new guys that's learning how to do snap cuts. If I plan on like holding a piece or whatever, or snapping it off by hand, instead of snapping it from the bottom and the top, I can snap it sideways a little bit too. So I just angle it sideways a little bit. It allows me just to make sure it don't snap off before I mount my saw. It works really good for me. I'm sure it'll work great for y'all. That's just a small little tip y'all can get a hold of. I don't remember if I do it here or not. Let's see. Yeah, I just went over and under. Oh, that's a great angle. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if you didn't, rewind it. But a lot of new guys, I just see them wide open the chainsaw the whole time. I wish you could hear my throttle control. But throttle control is a great thing for, just after beginner level guys that you can work on. You don't have to gas the chainsaw all the way all the time. Sometimes you just gotta, just tickle it a little bit. Tickle the trigger, play with it a little bit. and just learn a little bit. I actually, now I'm thinking about it, I'm probably gonna turn this into like a, just a quick little idea on some tutorial videos. I don't think it'd be a bad idea at all to start just doing tutorials. I already have a felon tutorial, so I guess this might be my second tutorial. Just kind of get a general idea and get people's brains rocking on how the climbing process works, and start somewhere before I start doing subjects. Really, that one felt perfect. That's that's what I would normally want a snap to look like, but as you can see, I start making my way up the tree a little bit more. Another thing I'm doing, like, I'm taking my time here. I'm no rush. I make sure I got a clear sight of where I want this top to go. And the other thing is, I got other trees around me that I do plan on taking down later. So, for one, I'm looking at them trees. I'm sizing them up. I'm seeing what I'm wanting to do. I'm getting other ideas. Because you can have an idea on the ground, but sometimes you gotta change it up. Once you get up there, sometimes things don't look quite the size that you was expecting them. But I went ahead and sized it up. I'm getting ready to drop this top out, and I'm just, I already took a good look at my at my drop zone. It's tight. I know I got that power line behind it, but I know the tree had a good lean. I already checked the lean and load of it, and it's plenty in the direction it needs to go. Especially with that wire back there, it's a situation where if you ain't got your everything your ducks in a row, it never hurts to have a rope and somebody pulling on the ground. I knew this one was gonna go, so it wasn't a big deal for me. Another thing, this being a pine tree, and this being I'm not saying you should do this, but in my judgment of the situation with this notch, I knew that the limbs on this was not going to hurt the house. I knew that was probably going to hit. I was hoping they didn't, but I knew that was probably going to. But they didn't do any hurt to the house. So I made that judgment call. I'm not saying you should always make that judgment call, and depending on the situation, if I got the availability to rig, most of the time I won't make that judgment call. But this situation, I just pretty much went ahead and did that. But here, I'm taking my time, trying to line my notch up. It looks real good. Pine trees, and there's some other type trees, cedar trees. There's a couple others. But basically, any softwoods that got that kind of peely, really kind of saturated bark, I guess you could call it, you're going to want to make what's called side cuts. I think I'd do it here. If I didn't do it, I should have done it. So, but you're about to see that. I'm going to cut on both sides of it. And all that's going to do is whenever it goes to fall, it has nowhere to peel. And you'll see what's left on the hinge wood. You'll see it whenever it falls. What's left up by llama cut up, safe to go. There's no need to wait. It just go ahead and send it. Looks good. Let's send it. You see the tree rock back. Put my hand on it. Goes right where I want it to go. Tight spot. Didn't go in the road. Didn't hit the house. Went right where I needed it to go. Another thing, I don't know if you noticed. One bad thing I do see that I should have corrected. If you want to look back at it. But the one mistake I did make is I had my tying point and my other rope right beside each other. That is a mistake.